about Peter Murrell's arrest?
Well, look, I obviously can't comment on a live police investigation. You would know that. But what I will say is that the SNP has fully cooperated with the investigation and it will continue to do so. And of course, on the weekend that just passed, in my first NEC meeting as party leader, we agreed to carry out a review on governance, on transparency, and of course with some external input too. And the details of that will come forth in the next few weeks.
When did you first hear the news about the arrest and what was your reaction?
I was told this morning after the event, and of course my reaction, as you'd imagine, much like anybody involved in the SNP, is that this is a difficult day for the party. But again, I just reiterate and emphasise it's so important for me not to comment on a live police investigation and be seen to prejudice that in any way, shape or form.
Is this the real reason why Nicola Sturgeon resigned?
No, I believe Nicola Sturgeon absolutely that she had taken the party as further forward as she possibly could. I think anybody who has particularly seen Nicola through the COVID pandemic could really sympathise with just how exhausted she absolutely was.
How do you think the public will be reacting to this news?
Well, I think there'll be concern from the public, but again, there is a live police investigation underway, and we will wait to see what comes at a conclusion of that police investigation.
And what does this mean for the Sturgeon legacy?
Look, Nicola Sturgeon's legacy, particularly in around tackling child poverty and around the promise that she has made to care experienced young children, I think those legacies stand firm, and they are foundations that I want to build upon. Now, of course, the police investigation and the news this morning is challenging, is difficult. I'm not going to pretend otherwise, but the reason I'm here is to focus on the priorities of the day and the priorities of the Scottish people at large.
You've not been an office bearer in the SNP, but now you are taking on the leadership of the party. Labour say there's been a culture of secrecy and cover-up. Are you wanting to get your hands in the party and just find out what indeed has been happening? Well,
as you'd imagine, one of the early conversations I had was, as party leader, was with, for example, our party lawyers, and to understand not just the finances of the party, but around governance and transparency. And that's why in my first meeting as leader of the NEC on Saturday was to get the NEC to agree to a course of action around governance, around transparency, with some external input. And I think that external input is going to be really important because people do have questions about the party, about transparency, about our finances. And I think we have to reassure our own party membership as well as the broader Scottish public.
Humza Yousaf, the new leader of the SNP, responding to the news this morning that the husband of Nicola Sturgeon, Peter Murrell, the former SNP chief executive, has been arrested by Police Scotland over an investigation into the party's finances. Humza Yousaf